Hi, it's the M.L.M for this whole channel. I do have a new topic for today. Before I begin, I just would like to say, may the words and expressions of my mouth and the thoughts and meditations of my heart find favor and acceptance for you, Hashem. And some people I thank have inspired me. I hope they can inspire you as well. And I will have links below this video to their sites. They are Rabbi Shalom Arish, Rabbi Lazer Brody, Rabbi Yosef Mizrahi, Rabbi Eli Mansour, Rabbi Elon Anavar, Rabbi Yuval Ovadia, Rabbi Daniel Asser, Nisan Baruch Black, Rabbi Michael Skobach, Jews for Duties, and Rabbi David Ashir, Rabbi Yeroni Ruvain, and Rabbi Yosef Chesney. As well, if you've never checked out this channel before, I will have a link below to my first video which explains what M.L.M for the soul means, what it stands for, and what I'm doing. So this is for the upcoming parasha. This time I'm doing for Parashat Pinchas. And this is from the Tiferes Yosef by Rabbi Yosef Chesney. I've got to learn to slow down a little. That's my thing when I talk, so that you can follow along. So I call this a challenge for growth. So if you so this is of course Rabbi Yosef Chesney saying all this. If you are by the ocean and are challenged by a wave, if you stand your ground, you will be pushed down. If you propel yourself higher, the wave will lift you up. In life we encounter many waves. If we stay stagnant, we will be pushed down. If we take the jump, the wave itself will lift us higher. When the families of Klal Yisrael are mentioned in this week's parasha, we are introduced to a new name, Mishpachat Ozni. Rashi is bothered by how a new family came to be. He suggests that it is the same family who until now was called Mishpachat Atzvoni, who is mysteriously absent in this count. Rashi is troubled as to why they have a different name. The Chassam Sofer offers the following fascinating explanation. This family was neighbors with the Shevet Ruvain and Shevet Shimon. These two Shvatim, that's the tribes, contained many members who participated in Korach's rebellion. Living in such close proximity, they were exposed to too much lashon hara. Lashon hara is evil or derogatory speech, and ratzon is meaning being like a clown, being like just like not, doing things the way you're supposed to. At that time, they followed the Gemara's dictum of placing their fingers in their ears, and I need to do that a lot of times where I live right now, but hopefully that'll change soon, BeEzrat Hashem, to avoid hearing unacceptable words. Due to this deed, they got the name Etzbon, or Etzbon, which is related to the word Etzba, which is finger, a finger. Now that all these Rishayim, meaning these wicked people, had perished, they no longer kept their fingers in their ears. As a result, they acquired a new name, Ozni, which means ears. One may ask at this point that they no longer had their fingers in their ears, they were the same as everyone else. Why then are they called the ears family more than anyone else? The answer is, it may look like other people have ears, but in reality the opposite is true. Their ears have them, so to speak. Only someone who has control over their ears is considered their master. This is truly a fascinating vart, yet we must understand why it is warranted for this achievement to be incorporated into their name. A name represents a person's shoresh haneshama, that's like the root of their soul, and their mission in life. Why should this accomplishment be represented in their name? We can deduce from this that what they achieved was not merely a chance accomplishment, it was their very life's mission. When they were enduring the difficult situation of sheltering themselves from the harmful exposure of bad neighbors, they wished that they would be free from this trying situation. What they could not have known was that enduring the situation is what would bring them to the fulfillment of their life's mission. So maybe with my own personal situation I'm dealing with, maybe that's why I'm in it right now, but I'm still praying that I get out of it soon. Many times we endure trying situations. We have to realize that Hashem placed us in this situation to enable us to reach our tachlis, which is our purpose. Sfarim say that if someone constantly encounters nisyonos, which are challenges in a specific area, it is a sign that one of the reasons he came down to the world was to gain mastery in this area. It is possible that in the previous Gilgul, that's a reincarnation, he was lacking in this area. Thus he is constantly being tested by this nisayon to enable him to reach his shlemus, which is completion and fulfillment. We have to recognize a difficult situation for what it is, a challenge for growth, hence the name of the title for this video. The Gemara says that one's Yetzer Hara, which is their evil inclination, becomes stronger by the day, and if not for Hashem's help, you will be unable to overcome it. Why did Hashem make it that way? Why not give us temptations that are within the realm of our capabilities? The answer is that persevering through a challenging situation is what facilitates growth. If all temptations would be within our comfort zone, we would never grow. But having to stretch ourselves with Hashem's help, we stretch our capacity and grow. We see people who have accomplished this well beyond the realms of nature. At times you may notice that they have challenges in this area where naturally we would expect them to go to the opposite extreme. They do not achieve despite their difficulties. Rather, it is the hindrances that propel them higher. So meaning that It's the problems that make them get stronger. So an example of this, I recall yet again, this is Rabbi Chesney, in Yerushalayim, who exuded happiness and joy. The man was ill and had to walk with an oxygen mask. Yet he did not allow this to get him depressed. He rose to the challenge and used the nisayon as a means to propel him higher. One more example of this is Rabbi Nosson Tzvi Finkel, the late Rosh Hashiva of Mir Yerushalayim. He accomplished more than anyone else, yet he suffered from Parkinson's. According to his doctor, most people in his stage of this condition are not able to leave their bed. He rose to the challenge and this stretched his capacity, and he was able to accomplish more than anyone else. At this time of year, we contemplate our state of galus. With the aforementioned perspective, we understand that our exile is not merely a transition time that we have to endure until we meet the redemption. It is an opportunity for growth. There are traits that we can only achieve by fighting the tides of the times to hold steadfastly to our values. We are currently in the darkest weeks of the year. This is what is leading up to the 3 weeks. Yet there is a lot to gain specifically at this time. The pasuk says, "Kol road fit." I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right. "Kol road fiha hisi go bein hamitzarim." All those who chased after her caught her during this time of bein hamitzarim. That's what it's called, bein hamitzarim. I don't know those other words. I don't know where this is from. So the Mezritcher Magid offers a different explanation to this verse. He says to read it as Rodev Ka. Those who pursue Hashem can gain or achieve this connection at this time of year. Sfarim explains this concept with the following parable. There was once a king who went out on a hunting expedition. It took many hours until he encountered a deer. As he attempted to shoot it, he kept on running deeper and deeper into the woods. Finally, he gave up chase. Looking around, he realized that he had lost sight of his men. He was lost in the middle of a huge forest far away from civilization. For the next 3 days, he wandered around yearning for a good meal and a comfortable bed. Finally, after 3 days, he encountered a small hut belonging to a poor Yid. He knocked on the door. Yankel opened his door and excitedly invited the king into his humble abode. The king asked for a drink and a bed. Yankel got his nicest cup, a dirty and cracked old mug, and filled it with fresh goat's milk for the king. He then showed the king to a bed of straw. The accommodations were far from his standards, but after his ordeal in the woods, it was appreciated. The next day, the king returned to the royal palace. As a reward for his help in his time of distress, the king had a palace built for Yankel to live in. He gave him enough money to live in comfort for the rest of his life. Yankel had a friend, Moshe, who was intrigued from the situation. Yankel got such a large return on such a small investment. He decided to try it as well. He arrived at the palace and proclaimed that he had a gift for the king. He was awarded with an audience with the king where he presented his gift, a dirty mug of milk and a mattress of straw. The king was furious and he ordered for Moshe to be thrown into prison. Moshe probed, "What is the difference between me and my friend?" The king answered, "Yankel found me during my time of distress. At that period, any small assistance was worth its weight in gold. You, however, came during my time of comfort. Now I don't need your measly gift, and it is considered a mockery of the kingdom." So during our current goals, which are our exile, every deed we do is worth so much more. During the 3 weeks is as if Hashem is in the fields. Any small action that we do for his sake is worth even more. If we pursue him at this time, we can truly gain a connection with him. Let us recognize the value of a challenging situation and use it to propel us higher. And I hope and pray also that we will merit to live and see the coming of Mashiach speedily in our days and rebuilding of our final and everlasting Beit HaMikdash. Amen. And thanks for watching.